There's a reason why I said that this was a must-win game for Orlando. It's because of this feeling right now, following that loss to Philadelphia. This is exactly why I said it was must-win, because it feels as terrible as it looks, and it is as terrible as it feels and looks. All right, it's terrible. I'm sure there's a reality in which we're 1-3 right now, and I'm feeling okay. But that reality would have had to been a schedule that started with Oklahoma City, Denver, and someone else in that category of tough teams. Right? We've lost the teams we should be beating. Sixers didn't have a Embiid. We The issue is that it's fundamental basketball. We can't get a stop. This team that we thought that the defense was so certain can't get a stop. It was the same thing against Miami. It seems like we could do nothing to stop them from pouring in shots, regardless of who was taking them. And the turnovers again. Are we like averaging 15 turnovers a game? If this team honestly thinks that it's gonna win games or championships or a playoff series, having to score 120 to 125 points per game just to the hope of winning, it can forget it. Because although it's added Desmond Bain, although it's added some offense, including more offensive coaches, it's still not going to be consistent enough to the point where you can bank on 120 points a night. You saw that against Chicago, granted on a back-to-back, but you need to get stops. You need to get stops. The only reason you've been why in the past you're able to win games is because you could keep teams to around 100 points. Even if you couldn't get 100 points yourself, you could still from time to time get more points to the opposition on the basis that they struggle to score against you. No one's struggling this year. Everyone's scoring against you. I know that you guys struggle with small quick guards. I've been watching you struggle with small quick guards for the longest time now. I expected Maxi to pour in 43 points. Okay, because he gave you 17 points in 12 minutes in the preseason. I knew this was coming. But you can't stop anyone else. You can't stop Oubre. You can't stop rookie Edgecombe. You can't do any of this. You're just going to let everyone pour in buckets. You don't look like a good defensive team. You look suspect, okay? You look inconsistent. The turnovers again. When is it gonna come together in some sort of meaningful way where you at least look good? The issue is you've looked terrible. You haven't looked convincing, right? You have stretches. You had 3 quarters of it against Atlanta, then you blew it. You had a bit of it in the third quarter against Philly today, and a bit in the fourth, but they were still able to match you with buckets anyway, so it was for naught. Every time you tried to build momentum, they just got a bucket and made you rebuild all over again. You were struggling to build momentum because you couldn't get a stop. Okay, I need to see it, for you to put it together for just a game. Put it together. The defense, the turnovers, a reasonable level of offense. I'm not expecting perfection. Okay, but the expectations are higher. I've said it in every video so far. Okay, if this were 3 years ago where we were running people like Admiral Schofield for 30 minutes because no one was available, no, I'm not upset. If this was even the year, you losing to Cleveland in 7 games with no offense, not upset. That was a good season. Last year, injuries all year, no offense. Lose to Boston in a gentleman's sweep, not upset. This, you have a team on paper that should be contending, and you look terrible. I understand it's the first week of the season, but does it matter? After what we've seen, does it matter? Seriously, when? Okay, I asked this in the first video. How much time would you like? Because understand this, there's no more roster changes. The next one on the chopping block will be Jamal Mosley, and that's the last. I don't want that. That's the last thing that I want. I don't want that. Okay, these guys need to figure it out, and it needs to be ASAP. I don't know how I feel about in the next game. I really don't. Detroit, you could go 1-4 the way you look right now. You could. I don't know how you're going to go against Charlotte either now. These are teams that you should all be beating. All of them. You haven't played a single team right now so far, and you won't up until the Knicks on the 13th of November. That should actually beat you. Not that I expected you to win every game on the way, because again, back-to-backs, away trips, things happen. Okay, sometimes like Chicago, there's just a lid on the basket. I understand that things happen, but none of these teams should be able to beat you. The fact that it's at the start of the season is irrelevant to me. You look shocking. This is why I said that it was a must-win game, because I knew what the sentiment and what the feeling would be going down 1-3, looking the way that you've looked. Okay, after those first three quarters, if you would, that first half, sorry, letting them get 72 points and all those turnovers, even if you would that third quarter had amounted to something and you scraped out a win like you did against Miami, we'd still be having this conversation. Okay, there would have been relief, sure. Congratulations on clawing it back, which you didn't, of course, but like there would still have been a massive concern after that first half. There still would have been enough for us to go, even if you managed to scrape it out, there still would have had to be a conversation. Same thing against Miami. You did manage to pull it out. I didn't feel great about the win. Okay, and even if you had been 2-2 today, scraping it out, making a comeback in the third or the fourth, there's still too much to worry about. There's still so much concern with what we're seeing. Like, what do you want anyone to do or say? More time? Like, yeah, you'll figure it out, I hope. Because, like, you don't look good. There's nothing about this that feels, confidence inspiring. I don't know how you're going to, like, how's his defense going to figure out how to get stops? Is it laziness? Like, what is it exactly? Is there miscommunications? Like, I'm not understanding what's going wrong here. Was Cole Anthony the secret all along? What was it, Caleb Houston? Like, what changes? What's changed? Are the European players the only one that touched the basketball in the summer? Like, what happened? What is it? Like, I don't want to be negative, man, but if you don't feel it, then you're probably not watching these games. Okay, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. Okay, and now, like, how many... If we beat Detroit, which I don't feel that great about now. I didn't even feel great about this Philly game based on what I had seen. I said yesterday this was must win on the basis of what it's going to do for the mentality, not only of the fans but also by extension the club. We all feel the same way. This is not good. Okay, again, the fact that we have a game against Charlotte after Detroit, away from home, irrelevant. Wizards after that, away from home, irrelevant. The fact that I'm sitting here telling you there's a good chance we might lose to Charlotte and Detroit. Wizards we should still beat, but I'm not going to lower my expectations. You should be whipping all of these teams, and I want you to beat Atlanta after that. I want you to beat the injury-ridden Celtics after that, both times in a row. I want you to smack the Trailblazers, and then the Knicks. If you go on that run, we'll see. If you can dead set go on that run as you should have, as you should be expected to, okay, then we'll see how I feel about the Knicks, alright? But at this point in time, I'm not liking that. Dude, I want you to beat Charlotte and Washington by 20. Then you would start to inspire some confidence in me, right? I want you to spank them. Detroit, if you win in a close game, good, but you had better win. Okay, you had better win. You talking about must win for Philly today? I don't want to know what's going to happen if you go 1-4. I really don't even want to think about it. Because the headline's already going to start to come out, I promise you. You look atrocious. Like I said, Charlotte, Washington, you're going to have to spank them by 20 just to get some pride back. You better keep them to under or around 100 points. You'd better. Atlanta, again, you're not... You'd better. You'd better, especially after the fact that you dropped that game against them the first time. Like, you better. When does the momentum start to build? When does it actually start to build where I can feel confident that we're going to go on some sort of a roll and I can actually look at the calendar and start to once again know where these losses or potential losses are coming from? Right now, I have no idea. Right now, I'm worried about the fact that you gave away all our draft picks, and that's so ridiculous to say, but you don't look good. You don't look good at all, and you should. I mean, like, my expectations are set to where they are based on what you have and everything that we've seen in the past. Okay, when we had that season where everyone was injured, not last year, not the year before that. Okay, I think it was Paolo's rookie season when everyone was injured. We were getting battered and battered and battered. But you weren't getting blown out. You actually looked relatively competitive. And I remember saying to my missus, yo, when we get a bit healthier, I can see these guys starting to win some games. Sure enough, you did. Okay, and then you went 500 for the rest of the season. The year after is when I'm like, hey, another year of growth with Paolo. This looks like a top 6 team. What do you know? You finished top 6. You made it to the playoffs, and that's the year that you got beaten by Cleveland in the first round in a tough 7-game series. Last year again, I was expecting top 6, but the injuries happened. But you still roughly landed where we expected, and everything was all hunky dory. Okay, this isn't about you being perfect. This is about what you have and whether or not you're delivering. Okay, this is an under-delivering, a complete under-delivering. If you had, the only way these results would be acceptable is if you had no Paolo, no Franz, Suggs wasn't playing, okay, and your starting lineup was Tyus Jones, Anthony Black, and Tristan Da Silva. And even then, I feel like you wouldn't be 1-4. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening here. Like, come on, man. We got to figure it out. Please, please. I know I'm frustrated, but like, there's no way anyone feels good about this. Not because of, it's not just the fact that we're losing, it's the way that we're losing. It's what we're seeing on the court that has me so upset. What can we do, man? Next game. Let's go.